Hey, Stray, what's up? This is gonna be a very short stream. I'm just chilling a little bit before I gotta work. Yeah, I need to repair my gear. Tonight is the night we get back on my other WoW account and get back to my level 60 honor. Which means tonight we'll be doing Ultra Valley grinding to try to get rank 14 on my level 60 hunter. Back on that old gravy train.
You are too kind.
Whiff.
just when I'm alone, just when I haven't got you except inside my phone, not just when I'm friends with my thoughts, not just when I'm gonna get caught, not just when I'm inside out, not just when I'm outside in, not just when I'm down by the lake. Might as well have my head on a stake. It's when I'm having a blast, twirling around in my dress, and you'd say that I'm looking my best. Fill me up to the brim as the people cheer. I guess I'll always miss you when you're not here. You said that it won't feel like years. You said that you can't dry my tears. I'm just waiting till you appear here, so you can tell me things right in my ear. Talking slow and no one's near. Instead I'm sinking, slipping out of gear. I cry over nothing, so up the contents. Wish I could feel you in my hair. Now there's ghosts in my kitchen. I'm not even listening. Swear I can feel you in the air. I know you want it. I cry over nothing, so up the contents. Wish I could feel you in my hair. Now there's ghosts in my kitchen. I'm not even listening. Swear I can feel you in the air. I cry over nothing, so up the contents. Wish I could feel you in the air. Now there's ghosts in my kitchen. I'm not even listening. Swear I can feel you.
Why am I bandaging me? I know why. Because the game crashed last night, so my macro didn't save. That's why.
Know that I'll feel better with the tide.
Don't you hate that? It's like, I know I changed that macro.
Something about the water running down my side. Caterpillar hatching in my chest. Sinking in the sheets that cover my face. Feeling like a child, the bashment lives in me. Caterpillar hatching in my chest. Oh, I hate it when I'm not at my best. Is there something inside of me?
Ding-a-ling.
Making me believe that black is white. Is this something I can't defeat? Maybe I should try and sleep tonight, sleep tonight. So I'll play and I'll play and I'll play. I don't wanna feel like I did yesterday. And I don't wanna feel like I did yesterday. So I'll play and I'll play and I'll play. I don't wanna feel like I did yesterday. Oh, is there something inside of me making me believe that black is white? Is this something I can't defeat? Maybe I should try and sleep tonight, sleep tonight, sleep tonight, sleep tonight.
Hello, good morning, how you do? What makes your rising sun so new? I could use a fresh beginning too. All of my regrets and nothing new. So this is a way that I say I need you. This is a way, this is a way that I'm learning to breathe. I'm learning to crawl. I'm finding that you and you alone can break my fall. I'm living again, awake and alive. I'm dying to breathe in these abundant skies. Hello, good morning, how you been? Yesterday left my head kicked in. I never thought that I would fall like that. Never knew that I could hurt this bad. I'm learning to breathe. I'm learning to crawl. I'm finding that you and you alone can break my fall. I'm living again, awake and alive. I'm dying to breathe in these abundant skies, these abundant
Hunter or Warlock, they're both good. Hunter and Warlock are both fun. I think the difference for me is always that the Hunter's more movement. Like on the Hunter, you're more mobile, you know. I think that's why I like the Hunter a lot, is because I can move around and, while I'm fighting. Like the Warlock, you're standing still a little bit more. You can still move. I mean, obviously you're throwing out dots and stuff, but once you start casting stuff like Life Drain and Soul Drain and stuff like that, you're standing in place. Of course, a lot of it depends on your place, like your talent build too, with the Warlock, you know. It's too bad that the Destro isn't as good and vanilla as it is in some of the later, much later expansions. So But yeah, tonight we'll be playing the level 60 hunter, Cheryl. And I believe she's rank 12, and we're trying to get her to rank 14, so I'm gonna have to do some serious Ultra Valley grinding. Wonder if there's like an AV weekend coming up. Wouldn't that be nice? I'll have to check and see. Be nice if we got an AV weekend this weekend or next weekend. I have not worked my leatherworking at all. I'm sure I've got a shit ton of leather too. Feather. So I had a chance to buy this weapon, the Fiery War Axe. There was one in here for 48 gold the other day, and I was gonna buy it. I was just waiting for some auctions to finish, because I like to play melee hunter a lot, and that's actually a really good weapon for a melee hunter. And of course, once my auction's finished, so that I had enough gold so I could buy it, someone else bought it. And now the cheapest I've seen is 150 gold, so I had a little bit of a bummer there. This guy's trying to sell Flurry Hex for 275 gold. Yikes, that's way too expensive. What are we getting for these? It's not the best price, but still 12 gold. 12 for 3 gold. Yeah, feather prices are going down. Still, it was a good gold mine while it lasted. I must have made 200 or 300 gold just selling feathers. Oh yeah, there's too much gold buying infused into the market and the economy. People running around with thousands of gold that they shouldn't have. You know, that's what WoW is nowadays, unfortunately. So it bloats the economy, like to the level of ridiculousness. Blizzard doesn't do anything about it. Wow, the weapon procced 3 times there. That's insane. Oh, my herbalism's not high enough. What? Bummer. What's it at? Thought my herbalism was high enough. Oh, by Skull Shield, nice. What level is that? 41. Next level. This is like bonus protection paladin coverage on the stream. We were doing the hunter. This is like bonus coverage. Anyways, I'm going to bed, so I just wanted to smack a few ogres around before I went to bed. It's fun smacking ogres around, you know what I mean? See about Ion 2. Is it? Hey, Chaotic, what's up? Is it in November? I think it just looks like not great. I mean, I love Ion. I love Ion, but I'm just concerned.
What is up? What is up, ladies and gents? It's time. NCSoft has finally stopped blue balling us and broken the radio side. Live broadcast, which is around 12 noon UK time. That's when we'll hopefully.
I did see that they were going to do an Ion broadcast, but you remember it's Korean first though, so it's not going to be United States, right?
Is coming to Korea around late 2025, with the goal being collecting feedback in preparation for the global release. I mean, come on, NCSoft. It took you only like what, decades in the industry to realize that Eastern and Western gamers want different things and engage with content in completely different ways. Must feel good to finally catch up. So, is the delayed global release a bad thing? Not necessarily. It's similar to what they did with.
It is a bad thing. A delayed global release is always a bad thing because what happens is people figure out kind of what the game's all about. And people, even the United States, will get Korean-based accounts through illegal means a lot of times if they have to. It's not really illegal means, but you somehow figure out a way to get access, even though you're not supposed to have access. Use VPN or whatever. And so then the game, and so then when there's a lot of players that learn all the quests and whatever it is to get a leg up, so that when it does finally release in the West, those people have a big advantage to level through the content a lot quicker. Which again, it's a video game, who cares? But it's not. It does have a big impact, and it's not always a positive impact. Plus, you lose the hype train, right? Like globally. So like, just like any MMO, when it's released, there's going to be so many people that want to play it. So you're going to make a lot of money, right, as the people who made the game. So it's better to hit multiple markets at the same time because there's just more people in the game, which is more people talking about it, creates more hype, which gets more people to play it. So having a lot more regions exposed to it initially is going to generate, hopefully, more hype, especially if the game is good. So, having a release that's hitting one region first and then hitting another one like a year later or 3 months later or 6 months later, in my opinion, is always a bad thing.
Throne and Liberty. They tested things on Korean servers, collected feedback, and then they made adjustments before launching globally. This could lead to a more polished gameplay loop and
Now, okay, so now he's saying Throne and Liberty released in Korea first, and he's right that releasing it there first before it released in the West, it did have a more polished game in the West. So he's got a good point there. But still, if it would have released in all the regions at the same time, the only difference is you just would have had to wait, a few months, 3, 4 months or whatever until they patched whatever bugs there were. So you know what I mean? Still, I think more people playing the game at the same time, creating more hype, will get more people in the game. I think the fact that Throne of Liberty released in Korea first, I think the amount of people that actually played Throne of Liberty when it released here in the West was probably a little bit less than it would have been if it released to the same regions, globally all at the same time, because a lot of people got to see content, gameplay. Plus, there was a lot of negative feedback on Throne of Liberty when it came out in Korea. A lot of people didn't like it, so a lot of people didn't bother playing it when it released in the West because they're like, well, it's not that good, whatever.
hopefully less of the thing we all dread most. Pay to win.
Look, a year's salary right here. What I call them? Fun coupons.
But here's the catch. If the Western version is too far behind, players will already know what's coming. That kills any sense of surprise, and people will be able to prepare months in advance. Over the
Which is what I was talking about.
years, NCSoft has teased a few things that give us a rough idea of what to expect. Quick disclaimer, some of the info is pretty old. It's collected from investor calls, press releases, and a few points are actually already outdated. So do keep that in mind. Here's what we think we know.
So here it says we got too many games doing the same monetization tricks, too many grinds, too many dailies, too many currencies. This is 100% true. All this is 100% true. True, players are starting to push back, but the market is still built on the assumption that whales keep spinning and everyone else will just tolerate it, which is not true. If Ion goes down the same path, and all signs point to that, which is why I'm not that excited for Ion 2, because I feel like it's going to be a monetization hell. Then why should anyone care? MMORPGs used to be about adventure and immersion, which is 100% true. Now they're about reward loops, spending incentives. Again, 100% true. This is a really good article. Unless you're coming in with a strong brand like Final Fantasy, clear anti-microtransaction model, Guild Wars 2, or game-changing mechanics, Lost Ark raids, for examples. If you're just another shiny launcher on someone's desktop, Ion 2 might look great, might play well, but unless it brings something actually new to the genre, it's going to have a very short honeymoon phase. This is actually all 100% true. You know what I mean? I don't think it really matters if it's good or not. The problem is it doesn't matter if the game's good, because if they monetize it the way that they've monetized games in the past, no one's going to play it. Because you got to remember that Ion, the original Ion, was a very grindy game. It took a long time to get to max level. It took a long time to level up your professions. It took a long time to level up your ether gathering. Just building up your ether gathering to max, could take weeks or months. So if you have people that are swiping their credit card to get way ahead of other people, it totally devalues everything. It ruins everything. Why do I want to spend a week doing the difference is nobody in today's world wants to waste time anymore. The world's gotten to a point. This isn't 2004 anymore, right? With everything has to be there's so much more people can do today because of the internet, because of everybody has access to so many more things than they used to, again because of the internet mostly, that people don't want to waste their time on something that they don't feel like they're getting out of it what they're putting into it. So that's why MMOs are really suffering. It used to be that when the MMOs first came out, there wasn't a lot else to do. Where you can I could play Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe I could play World of Warcraft. I mean, there wasn't a lot of streaming services where I could watch tons and tons of different television shows. There wasn't a lot of really great consoles. I mean, we had consoles, but they weren't as good as they are today. You know what I mean? There just wasn't as many things to take your attention away from playing a game like, you know, an MMO like World of Warcraft or Ion, for example. Um, but now that's not the case. There's so many good games out there. There's so many other things people can do. So I'm not going to get into a game where where if I have to spend 2 weeks doing something and someone else swipes their credit card and can get it done in, you know, maybe 2 days, that feels like my 2 weeks worth of work has completely been invalidated. So I'm just going to go do something else, you know. And so many people, you know, this game. I mean, I am like 90% sure chaotic. I mean, like 90% sure this game will not succeed very well. I don't, you know, I think it'll do well because it's Ion, and there's a lot of people like me who loved the original game, so it'll have those players that have a lot of love for the original game, and so they'll be wanting it to work and like hoping that it can work, but it's NCSoft. That's the problem. You know, they're going to monetize the shit out of it. They're probably going to gatekeep stuff. If you look at this article here, he says it really, really well. Where is it? This one right here. He's right here. This is like super well said and super important. We've got too many games doing the same monetization tricks, too many grinds, too many dailies, too many currencies. All right. I mean, nobody likes dailies really. I mean, people that they're like, yeah, I can't wait to log on to do the exact same stupid thing I did yesterday, and then tomorrow log on and do it again, and then the next day log on and do it again, and the next day log on and do it again. You know what I mean? It gets pretty repetitive. Obviously, I get repetitive just be listening to me say it. And then too many grinds. I actually like grind. I like grinding if there's a reason to it. You know, the problem with the grind is the grinds always get invalidated by pay to win because most grinds can be circumvented by players that are buying currency. Because most of grinding comes down to reputation or money or progression. And if people could just pay like real world currency to somehow circumvent that, they will. It's a perfect example is World of Warcraft. Like in World of Warcraft, you don't even have to level your characters hardly anymore because if you have a bunch of gold, you can just pay like high level characters to run you through dungeons, right? So you don't have to do anything. You just have to physically be standing inside the dungeon doing absolutely nothing while they clear the dungeon for you and you get the experience, right? So, perfect example of how you can completely bypass leveling, right? Or if you can just pay for one of those services where they level the character for you, you just go out and watch a movie or something, come back and your character's max level. You know what I mean? Yeah, the dailies are gatekeeping. The dailies are there because they're trying to give you something to do to keep you busy so that they can develop the next parts. So there's nothing wrong with that. I prefer not to have dailies. I prefer to have more grind-based systems where it's just like the leveling process takes a long time. If it takes you 3, 4, 5 months to get to max level, that gives the developers plenty of time to develop more content. But most games just don't work that way, which is unfortunate. That's why Vanilla WoW was so good, is you didn't level to max level in a day. At least not when the game first came out. People didn't know how to level. It took most people like 3, 4 months to get a character to 60. And a lot of that was because they were experimenting the game. They were like trying different classes. They were trying different builds. There was a lot of learning the game, experimenting with the game. So you know, they weren't just like because it was too exciting. It was too cool. It's like, oh, I never have all these characters playing. I've never played any of them. So it's very difficult just to level 1 to 60 because you might level 1 to 10, then try a different one, level that 1 to 15, then try a different one because you're trying the game out. You're trying out different things. So, but anyways, yeah, I mean, I definitely will play Ion, but it's not going to release in the West first, so which means you're going to have to get some sort of access to the Korean version, which I probably will get. Hope, you know, there's a good chance I'll be playing the Korean version, and we'll see. But it's just, you know, I'm not. I want the game to be good, of course, but I don't have any, you know, rose-colored glasses on. I understand how NCSoft works, so I know how the game most likely will turn out. It'll turn out that most of the people that are progressing way ahead of the other people are somehow, you know, doing RMT, real money transaction. Also, the other thing I worry about with NCSoft games is the bots, man. NCSoft games are notorious for bots. At one point, Throne and Liberty was so bad, and I think Kanan did a video on it, where you had like 40%. Actually, Lost Ark was the same way. I don't who made Lost Ark. It wasn't NCSoft, was it? Yeah, it was Smilegate. But at one point, Throne and Liberty had like 40% of the player base was like bots. It was really bad. Lost Ark was also the same way. And so that's another concern. And if you play Lineage 2, it's just all it is bots. I mean, you go and you like walk through the world, and you just see bots everywhere. So that's a huge concern. NCSoft traditionally has not been good. And I think it's because they make money off the bots because every bot is an account. Same thing with World of Warcraft. World of Warcraft doesn't want to ban all the botters. I mean, not really, because they're making money off of them. Those are people that they're paying for a monthly sub, you know. So, although Lineage 2 doesn't have a monthly sub, so that's not a good reason for them to allow all those botters. I don't really understand why they let all the botters in Lineage 2. I'll never understand that. But anyways, I'm off to bed. I hope you guys have a good one. We'll see. Definitely hope it's good. I think if you guys haven't checked out, the game I'm a lot more excited for with Lineage 2 is actually probably, this one, Chrono Odyssey. And if you guys haven't signed up for the Chrono Odyssey beta, make sure you go into Steam and favorite it, put it on your wish list and sign up for the beta. I've signed up like, a couple weeks ago or whatever. You know how these betas work. I don't think I'll get into it because I never seem to have the best luck getting into these things. But if you go to Chrono Odyssey right here, there's a playtest.
The void.
I've already requested access. I requested access a couple weeks ago. I think I requested once they opened it up where you could request access. I think I requested access the same day. Thank you very much to MMO Byte for putting out a video on it to let me know that that was available. But I'm a little bit more excited for Chrono Odyssey than I am for Ion 2, only because I think the combat looks better. And I think the world looks more interesting. They have a much more
Has consumed us all.
They have a much more dark and gritty theme.
Is this the end? What divinity dwells in this madness? Calamity bears not name nor face, yet draws closer still.
I shall return you to the past. You must prevail, no matter the cost. Reshape the future by your own hand. Sentinel of Cetera, I await your return.
Yeah, I just think Chrono Odyssey looks more interesting. All right, I'll catch you guys there. I'm off to bed. Peace out.